What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we're going to be revisiting a product that came out a few years ago that surprisingly failed, but I still really like. Let's check out the Nvidia Shield Portable. This originally came out back in 2013 when Nvidia tried to get their foot in this doorstep by putting out a handheld console. Now since then, the handheld landscape has definitely changed and Nvidia never really found their footing. And honestly, that just sucks because I still use this thing a lot and I really enjoy my time with it. And I feel like it was definitely overlooked back when it launched. But I'm gonna tell you guys why I still use it and what I still use it for. First, just to tell you guys what's going on inside. It's running a Tegra 4 quad-core ARM Cortex A15 CPU at 1.9 gigahertz. And in 2013, that was definitely good for handheld gaming. It's also got 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of flash memory built in. And taking a look at it, it's really unique. It's essentially a controller with a screen on the top. And that 5-inch display is actually a touchscreen coming in at 1280 by 720p. Now the way the controller is designed, it feels a lot like you're holding a 360 controller, but in terms of the layout, it's definitely more like a DualShock controller with the 2 joysticks being next to each other on the bottom. And the way it's designed is just really ideal because the screen's right there in front of you, the controller, it's all one unit you can just close up, and it's honestly not that much bigger than it's a normal controller. It's just a really cool all-in-one unit. You have things like dual front-facing speakers, you got triggers and bumpers on the back, as well as some room for expandable storage. You got a headphone jack, HDMI out, and a micro USB slot for charging. So the one thing Nvidia really tried to push here with the portable was their Nvidia Game Stream, where you could stream games right from your PC to your Shield Portable without having to install it on your Shield Portable, which is really cool, which means I can be out in the living room, upstairs, downstairs, just away from my gaming PC, but I could still play those games. Now my unit's running Android 5.5 Lollipop, but it's essentially just like a little mini phone. I've always loved Android's customization, and that's coming from an iPhone user. So last night when I was recording this, it was in the middle of the night and it was raining, and I had my forest wallpaper to reflect the current weather. Today it's nice and sunny, but I don't need to explain Android to you guys, you pretty much understand. You can get the Google Play Store, there's all the apps, but there's also Nvidia's apps on here, which makes the whole streaming thing very easy. You can go through and pick the Nvidia recommended games that are kind of optimized best, but you can also still just launch your Steam and go through your entire Steam library. Not only that, but it's connected to the GeForce Now, so if you have that account, you can play a ton of games for free. There are still different apps and games you can download from Nvidia, but like I said, you can also just go to the Android Play Store and just download different apps and games to play on here as well. Now it does scale your games down to 720p, like I said, to fit the screen here, and other than the occasional hiccup every now and then, I really didn't have a lot of problems. I can play things like Far Cry 4, even though it's technically not on Steam, which is cool. It's through, Ubisoft software. Stupid Uplay. And while the games are still running mirrored on your PC, you just don't have to be there. I can be in the living room, kicking back on the couch, reclining, playing my games. But I think the number one thing that I enjoy the most is the fact that it is Android, and with that, you have a ton of access to, widgets and customization here to make this your very own personal handheld console, which means one thing: emulators. I was born in '92, so I was all about, the original Game Boy, the Fat Boy, all that good stuff. So the fact that I can go and download pretty much any Game Boy game or, Nintendo DS, even current Pokemon games like Pokemon Platinum, you can easily find emulators for and be up and running in just minutes. I'm also a sucker for the N64 days, so getting things like Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium on here in my hands on the go is just a really cool feeling. Definitely nostalgic. Now there are a ton of emulators out there, but I use Happy Chick because it's just the easiest all-in-one solution that not only downloads the game for you, but also that console emulator at the same time. So N64, any pretty much, Nintendo handheld, PS1, I can play some Tony Hawk, some FIFA from iOS. Odds are you can find the game you're looking for, which is why I always choose to use Happy Chick. So Frank, why the hell are you talking it up if it failed? And I think ultimately what it comes down to was just bad timing, unfortunately. When this launched, that's when tablets were really on the rise. So Nvidia started to shift their attention towards the Nvidia Shield tablet, which was the K1, and that was very popular. And then since then, also the Nvidia Shield TV, and handheld just became completely obsolete, and now tablets are kind of obsolete, which is pretty funny. But recently we had something like the Nintendo Switch come out, which kind of gave, life to handhelds again. It made them kind of cool. So I feel like if this were to come out now, or like a few months ago alongside the Switch, this would have more of a place in the market. And that just sucks because obviously they're not going to reboot this. I don't think. It's just definitely bad timing back in 2013. But I still really enjoy it. Like I said, I could stream my games from my PC to this when I'm in the living room, hanging out, chilling on the couch, playing it here. If I'm like in a long car ride, I can play some emulators, some Pokemon, some, Pokemon Stadium. That's all really fun stuff that I enjoy playing that is just easily in my hands with the Nvidia Shield Portable. Now, I mean, there were some sort of drawbacks. I mean, the price at the time, I believe it was $299 or $250. That was still kind of pricey. And it is, kind of bulky-ish. You're not gonna fit this in your pocket, but I honestly don't have a lot of complaints. Pretty much none at all. My complaint is that it's not relevant anymore. And if you wanna pick one up for yourselves, because like I said, I think a lot of people can appreciate something like this even now, you can still easily find them on Amazon and eBay and stuff like that for a decent price. So if you wanna check them out, I'll put them in the description down below. And guys, that'll wrap it up for my little revisit of the Nvidia Shield Portable. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. Comment down below, press F to pay your respects to the Nvidia. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.